Paper, a great pile of it. Since we threw away clay tablets and chisels a few thousand years ago, this humble stuff has been the medium by which the people of successive civilizations have communicated with each other, and which has evolved from the pen and the first printing press to the daisy wheel and the laser. Today, in business life, because of almost daily advances in information technology, this evolutionary process has quickened beyond the imagination of the managers of only a few years ago. Even now, the changes which are occurring in IT are so fleeting and complex that an instant grasp of their meaning is called for if the next generation is, as they say, to be taken on board. Against this panorama of increasingly high investment in business systems and equipment in the quest for greater efficiency, the quality, availability, and cost of stationery have become critical to overall improved performance. I'm standing in a warehouse that's part of the headquarters of a progressive and highly successful business forms house, which has recognized this need and which has based its entire philosophy on a clear perception of what tomorrow will bring, or as its founder chairman puts it so simply, on being 2 jumps ahead. This is Standard Continuous. With annual sales currently of the order of £10 million, it's seen as a leader in its field, a supplier to many nationally and internationally known companies and institutions. Well, I've no idea what I expected to find inside this building. I'd no preconceived notion about how a firm concerned with printed business forms would look or should conduct itself. Well, first impressions are of space and comfort. There's a quiet air of professionalism about the place, but don't be misled by the plants and the easy chairs and the thick carpet. There's big business being done here. What I don't understand is why it's all so quiet here. I mean, where's the noise from the printing presses that you'd expect at a company like this? After all, surely technology hasn't progressed that far. David, now, you sell printed business forms. Where do you actually print them?
We don't. We operate a total forms management system. Our business is information processing. Look around and you won't see presses. You'll see that we use advanced computer software, which is ideal for the job. That's what George Olivier here, of Data World, our subsidiary, is responsible for. We make intelligence out of information.
I'm not quite sure I follow you. Can you explain that?
Well, perhaps the best person to explain it is our chairman, Colin Davis.
Well, it's simply this. Let's say we have 50 suppliers, business forms printers who do not have a sales force, and we have 5,000 customers who want a problem solved. We have the resources, the techniques, and the experience to put the two together to produce the best solution.
But surely the customer could go that route himself. I mean, why should he come to you when he could go direct to the printer?
I think that's a reasonable point of view. That is, until you start analysing the way that things are generally bought and sold in this country. For instance, let's take your car. Did you buy it directly from the manufacturer? Unless you're pretty unusual, you bought it from a garage like the rest of us. Or your suit. In most large stores, the menswear department can offer you a wide range of styles, makes, colours to suit your taste and size at a price you can afford and on the day you want it. I don't think our forms management service is vastly different from that.
Okay, so to carry that analogy a bit further, what you're saying is that before the car or the suit is bought, there has to be an accurate exchange of information between the parties concerned.
Yes. And it is this interrogation, which takes place at the time we receive an inquiry from our customer, which lays the groundwork for the follow-up process and enables us to produce a totally satisfactory and guaranteed product.
So, Colin, can you explain in a bit more detail how this process works and why it's important to the customer?
Yes, but let me take your second point first. I think our customers come to us instead of going directly to the printer because they can get from us a number of important benefits. By using our £10 million worth of purchasing power, we can buy competitively on their behalf. By undertaking total responsibility for the administration of the order, we can reduce their own commitment, and by the accuracy of the information produced by the design of our own documentation and systems, we can ensure the integrity of the finished product.
But surely all of this is heavily dependent on the quality of communications, not only between yourselves and your customers, but further down the line with your suppliers.
Yes, and it's this capability which makes our service unique and so attractive to our customers. We call it our customer communications network. Naturally enough, it requires a strong link between ourselves and the customer, but it is beyond this point where the difference between this and any other form of service becomes apparent. Through direct lines and our investment in advanced telecommunication equipment, we are able to provide, via our offices here at Shirley, direct access to 6 major suppliers located in different parts of the country, and their production directors, who in turn can provide further access, if needed, to over 500 shop floor extensions. Through radio telephones and paging systems, our entire sales force is also on hand to join the network for a 3-way conversation if required. This facility is also available for open line discussion between the customer, standing continuous, and the production unit. And whilst all this is going on, through screen interrogation, we can, like this, in 10 seconds, get all the information relative to the discussion. Now, I must come back to the first part of your question. How does this process work? Well, in front of you now are the many forms which we employ, which are the foundation of our highly structured approach to this demanding business. So perhaps in the role of a customer, you'd like to look at them and see how they would work for you.
Colin, thanks very much indeed. Well, obviously all business starts with an inquiry or some indication of what the customer wants. And from what I can see here, this particular form doesn't leave much to chance. All the standard continuous groundwork is done at the time of the initial inquiry. Look at the type of interrogation which is already taking place. Through a detailed knowledge of the supplier market and daily contact with its prime producers, it's able to carefully match all the customer's requirements of quality, delivery, and cost against the most appropriate source and provide a rapid response to the customer's inquiry. The accuracy and comprehensive specification of the quotation shows the customer that he's getting exactly what he asked for. And when the order is placed, it's also the assurance that the supplier too will get a precisely detailed set of instructions in a language he understands. Any fine-tuning to the overall process of production and delivery can be effected during the regular visits Standard Continuous make to their suppliers. In the meantime, I, as the customer, will have received an acknowledgement of my order. And where multiple deliveries are required, a delivery schedule is also attached. When the proofs are sent to me, this slip will be attached to them for my signature saying that I approve them. So when the proofs have been approved and the job delivered, it's just a question of waiting for the next time. The information has been processed, and now with the same care and attention, it's retained here in the computer system, ready to be retrieved no matter how long after reordering becomes necessary. But Standard Continuous are taking no chances. As part of their overall forms management service, they've supplied me with all the relevant samples and information I need for stock control, progress, and budgetary analysis. In other words, a complete case history here, in a 5-tray section of exactly the same data stack system they use themselves. And one more thing. All origination data stored on an easy-to-file floppy disk is held here too, on my behalf. The design and artwork which it refers to would have been produced here. This is the Computer Origination Department. With its Zenatron disk terminal, it's a unique facility consisting of the latest electronic equipment for typesetting, graphic design, and laser photography, only one small part of Standard Continuous's service to its customers. The monotype LaserComp type and image setter and the Autocon laser camera are the essential tools of the rapidly changing technology we discussed at the beginning of the program. In a way, I suppose, they're the symbols of the enhanced service which this company says it can offer. And they certainly underline its belief in a very effective interfacing role between supplier and customer. And what of tomorrow? Well, it seems that in its total forms management service, this company is taking account of market changes. The need for more information, speed of technological development, trends in order size that follow the micro-explosion and so on. Fittingly enough, a continuous process in which all standards are maintained.